Hi, Moon.
Hi, Tim.
I'd love to talk to you about your payment world. I was out with my dog this morning and I tapped my card to buy a coffee, and I thought, what are all the different layers and complexity that went into that transaction I don't even think about anymore?
So there are many players who are involved in this simple transaction that you do, and we don't even think about it, right? So there's the issuer who issues the credit card or the debit card that you use, any bank. And then there comes the networks. That's the Visa and Mastercard. So they are the ones who solves this connection problem between the issuers and the merchants. And then there needs to be a payment processor. And that would be processors like Adyen, Fiserv, Stripe, who enables the merchant to accept payments digitally. So that's the whole value chain.
How much continued investment is needed by the likes of Visa and Mastercard to keep this ecosystem going?
In terms of security and fraud, these things evolve over time, and you need to continue investing in the ecosystem to make sure that the payment is safe and secure. Standards are needed for these things as well, and Visa and Mastercard need to continue investing for these increased capabilities. And now we are likely entering the agentic AI era. To enable that, again, Visa and Mastercard would need to continue investing in their capabilities to get ready for these new types of payments.
If we all have our own agent a few years from now, how is that going to change how our digital selves interact with this payment ecosystem?
It is still very early days, and standards are still being worked on. And Visa and Mastercard and payment processors like Adyen are involved in this whole process. As you mentioned, fraud will likely go up, right? Like, is it your agent really making the transaction? Was that transaction intentional? How do you take care of chargebacks and disputes when it's your agent doing it and not you? And for a payment processor like Adyen, even legitimate transactions were being rejected. So Adyen came up with this solution which optimizes between authorization rate and fraud. You don't want to lose legitimate transactions because that's missed revenue for the merchant. At the same time, you don't want too much fraud. In an agentic world, you can imagine the complexity only goes up.
What's your view on the evolution of the likes of Stripe and Adyen? Is there credibility that they'll remain technological leaders in this new era of e-commerce?
Whenever there's a technological shift, right, a new player cannot be ruled out. But what's happening right now is not concern around a new entrant. What has impacted Adyen is, at least market's perception is that their peers are ahead in this whole agentic era race versus Adyen, as they've been a little bit more, I would say, vocal about some of their solutions, and they were the first ones to partner with OpenAI. So I think it's very unlikely that AI companies would partner with just one player. If they want to improve distribution and to get to more merchants, I think it is in their interest to work with multiple processors. And given Adyen's single platform and the well-integrated data across geographies and channel, I think they are very well placed to use this data to come up with solution.
Are they going to charge more for those increased complexity?
You know, with innovation, I think what happens is shared value. So when you innovate, you make money from it, and your customers also benefit from it. I think it will be a similar situation. So, right, like I mentioned, in case of Adyen, given their optimization between fraud and authorization rate, that means more revenue for merchants. So if you have to pay a little bit extra, you still end up, total cost of ownership is still lower, right? So as long as the innovation continue, I think similar dynamic, I think, would continue for companies like Adyen.
Thanks so much, man.
It was a pleasure speaking with you, Tim.